No, I don't know. I didn't always want to be a police officer either. So,
You find yourself in situations.
find myself in situations, and it seemed like a natural progression. No, I loved it. I miss it. I kind of miss law school. It was challenging.
Yeah.
So
now as a chief, if let's say there's nothing big going on, last night you worked late because I was here and you're one of the last ones shutting your door. And just again, I admire that. What are you going home? Have you got to a point now where you can try to separate a little bit, or it's still challenging to not read the emails and see what's going on?
Well, on my way home last night, the call came in that there was a flood in Williams' house, the dorm, burst pipe. So turned around,
Oh, you came back in.
called my wife,
Wow.
let her know, whatever. We had other stuff going on. So yeah, I came back in, went there. Just only there for maybe 45 minutes or so. Then got home and some stuff going on with my son. He's taking his driver's test, which he passed his driver's test today,
Nice.
which is pretty awesome. But then I got the message that the pipe burst in the university center. So then it was working on those messages, and we have a crisis management team and sending out messages to them, and just making sure everybody who does need to know knows everything that I know.
How does that work? Does that fall under campus safety, the division? Like when a water break, I wouldn't think immediately, if I didn't work at a college campus, I wouldn't think that's a chief of police responsibility.
Yeah.
Where does that fall for you with campus safety?
So we have this campus safety division, and there's this umbrella that includes police, security, our dispatch, our ideal office, which is the identification, electronic access, and locksmith, environmental health and safety, and life safety. And life safety is fire detection, fire suppression. So it somewhat falls under that. Life safety would be going there. But to me, it's the community caretaking role that we have. So anything, our police, of course, as you know, we respond to any type of calls of emergency. If there's a pipe burst, we're certainly not the ones doing all the work. There's ABM, there's facilities people. They're there. Teams of people working to help that. Housing services, not dining last night, but residence life. Everybody's like pitching in, and people all over the place there to make sure that the students are cared for. Students are going to be displaced, having to find other rooms, and just making sure that we're providing whatever we can support for whatever needs to be done.
That extra level, people notice that. People pay attention to that, and I applaud you for that. All
So
right.
I'm sorry. I'm just going to.
Yeah.
So one of my we'll talk. I'm sure we'll talk about pet peeves, but I got a pet peeve of municipal policing. Often police would say something like, they'd get called to some type of incident, and I'm sure you heard it in your time. That's a civil matter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that was just like the catch-all that any city cop is going to use. Like,
It's not a police matter.
This is complicated, and it's not a criminal matter.
Yeah.
I'm out. So that doesn't exist for us. Like every single thing has some component to it of making sure this community is cared for. So, that's not my job. Isn't a possible response for any of us, in my opinion.
So on that, what do municipal police officers not understand if they never worked for a university? I'll be honest, I may have judged university cops when I was a municipal detective. I just was ignorant. I didn't have that experience. I thought that's kind of beneath me. I'm arresting drug dealers and going after street robbers.
Yeah.
But then I come to university, and I actually think it's more challenging because you have to wear both hats. You still have to do that when it happens.
Yeah.
But generally, you have to be very attentive, selfless, personable, likable, approachable. Where municipal, it's easy to kind of sit in your car. Very tough job, but you don't have that community engagement unless you're in a community service unit.
Yeah.
Where here, everyone's a community officer.
Right.
So we're wearing all these hats. So